The haftarah that's read on the seventh day of the holiday is notable. I mean, every part of the Tanakh is notable, I suppose, but for being different to the one that's read to match the part of the Torah which we read on the seventh day. Now, what in the world does that mean? Okay. On each of the holidays, we read a bit of the Torah, but we also read the entire Torah going through the year. But it's a small portion of the Torah, so, so what, The one for the holiday usually matches the theme of the holiday rather than the reading itself. Whereas the hafṭaroth that we read throughout the year tend to match the reading in theme. The focal point in the reading of Beshalach, when it comes up across the year, is the splitting of the sea. Okay, cool. Right? That's the matching point in the haftarah. We read about the song that they sang at the sea. We read about a song that Devorah and Barak sang when God saved them from an oppressing army, Sisera and the like. Here, we have a different reading. The primary point here is the splitting of the sea, which tradition is said to have happened on the seventh day. Okay. And they sang a song of the sea, and we read a song that David sang. Why don't we read the same one? Right, so we're matching a song for a song, thematically, but we have a different one. And the truth is that there's not necessarily a one-to-one correspondence with the Torah reading and the section from the prophets. In fact, there are certain passages in the prophets that are read on different occasions throughout the year, depending upon circumstances. And as we said, on all of the holidays, we read something from the Torah that is read at some point of the year, but it doesn't always match. So what's the point? The point is the weekly readings match the theme of the weekly reading, whereas the haftarah on the holidays match the theme of the holiday rather than the reading itself. So what's the difference between the two? Well, in the Torah, when we're reading the entire Torah straight through, it's a narrative. There's a story. The children of Israel were in some degree of difficulty, strife, and God saved them. But this is a recurring theme. It happens over and over and over. So here it's the Egyptians, and God saves them from Pharaoh, etc. There it's Barak and Devorah who are saved from Sisera. Okay, so God saves them, so we read a story about just a typical God has saved us, and we're going to sing a song, right? I mean, God saves us lots of times, but we pick the one that has a song with it. Whereas with David, it's not the people, it's an individual. So maybe it's less appropriate for the narrative of they're in trouble, God saves them. But here, we're doing the theme of the holiday of haMaşşoth, which is more than just another, we're in trouble and God has saved us. It is much more of an existential matter, an overarching matter. We were enslaved, and this is the birth of the people. God saving us and creating us to be who we are. David was the progenitor of the Davidic line, which ultimately will lead to the Messianic line in the Messianic era. And therefore, it's a much more existential matter that's required. God has saved me from the bounds of Sheol and all that, from the grave. Much deeper and heavier. Not just, we might have lost a battle and we would have been subjugated for some time and they would have had to pay taxes and serve some foreign nation. Now we have independence. It's existential, which is the point of what Pesach is. It's the creation of our very identity, our existence as a nation. And therefore, it's more fitting for this. So think about this. On this holiday, what does it mean to be who we are? It's where we became an independent nation, and it ultimately led to Shavuot, which is where the status, the concept of Yisrael existed. We were just Bnei Yisrael, the children of the man named Yisrael. We weren't just the Hebrews. The status of Yisrael, as in a special people, with the Torah, with the Mitzvot, started at Shavuot. But we as a people were born on haMaşşoth, Pesach. That's the point. And we were almost snuffed out right at the beginning, but God saved us. That is what David is saying. We were almost snuffed out right at the beginning of my kingship, but God saved me and allowed it to continue to develop and to blossom into something. As we celebrate such a very important time in our existence, think about what it means to you. Mo'adim l'simcha.